Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Chelsea 2, Brentford 2. Massive points dropped at the end by Chelsea, who fought hard to get back into this game. Garnacho had a massive impact on the second goal for Chelsea. Great cutback, falls to the edge of the box. Really and truly, wingers had done nothing for Chelsea in most of the game. Garnacho made the impact. Caicedo with a thunderbolt, which I think we all thought, we all believed would be the winning goal. And then a sting in the towel. Something that was a problem all game for Chelsea was the set pieces. That can't be denied at all. But Alejandro Garnacho, who was so influential in the second goal for Chelsea, what many of us thought to be the winning goal for Chelsea, then falls asleep at the back post. Carvalho taps it home, and Chelsea dropped 2 massive points. Every point this season is going to matter. And Chelsea fans, you know this is true. How do you know it's true? By the way you celebrated the equalizing goal. Sorry, the goal that put you ahead going in. Look, I want your thoughts. I want your opinions on this in the comment section below. The panel coming a little bit later in the game as well. But it was actually a really enjoyable football match. I can't lie. It was a really enjoyable football match. I really loved what we saw tonight. Chelsea with rotation, bringing the big boys on, and they're going to have to do that. And this is why it's a new test for Maresca, a new test for this young Chelsea team, because they haven't been in this situation before. They just simply haven't. They haven't been in this situation. They haven't been in an environment whereby you've got to rest 3 or 4 or 5 of your best players because you've got a massive game at the during the week, and then another massive game at Old Trafford the following day. So it's a new ground. It's a new realm for this young side and manager. But I really did think Chelsea would make the subs and win the game. I did. And they got that. They got the winning goal. That's the bit that's going to hurt Chelsea fans tonight, frustrate Chelsea fans tonight, and it should do. They got the winning goal. But set pieces were the undoing tonight. And I made a note. I didn't make many notes tonight. I made a note right atop my notebook here. And I wrote this at about the 65th minute of the game. And I said 2 to 4 touches on too many set pieces. And what I meant by that is every single time a set piece came in, it felt like Brentford were getting between 2 to 4 touches of the ball before Chelsea were clearing it. And it was dangerous for the entirety of the evening for Chelsea Football Club. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But look, we're going to get your thoughts. We're going to get your opinions. Let's get that like button smashed if you haven't done it already, because I know that, especially for you Chelsea fans, I know a lot of you are very loyal to the Terrace. I know you're not going to enjoy the show because your team didn't win, but please support the Terrace by getting this liked, getting this shared, getting it out there for everybody to see. We will come to your comments. We will come to your super chat soon. I can promise you that. I can. Let me just share the link with a few people asking to come on and have their say this evening. We're just getting that done in just a few seconds. Let me just share that. 1 sec, my people. Sorry. I apologize. There we go. But yeah, look, I think, Chelsea fans should... Terry, do you think Chelsea fans should be angry tonight? Angry, yes. Throw baby out with the bathwater, no. I think you can, grown-ups especially, can have that dichotomy. But tonight should frustrate Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans should be angry with their team. And as I've said many times before, you can be angry with your team. You can criticize your team without throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I stand on it. You don't have to go Maresca out just because you're angry. You don't need to say all the players are bad. You don't need to say all the new signings are crap. You don't need to be that polarized. If you want to be a famous TikToker overnight, if you want to be a fake sort of fan, YouTuber, you can go very viral very quickly by just going over the top every minute of every day. That's doable. If that's your thing, go and do it. Like, I'm not against you doing it. Be you, man. Live your life. Be happy. But Chelsea fans should be angry. They don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And they should be angry because tonight was such a hard Premier League game. And you get the win, and it's what I call a champion's win. You get the 3 points, and I think it demonstrates a new level in the Premier League for this Chelsea crop, which is rotated the team. Some injuries as well, but rotated the team. Palmer, Cucurella, Reece James on the bench, to name a few. Starting 11 wasn't good enough. And I think if you hadn't made those changes, it would have carried on in a similar vein, and Brentford may have scored a second goal on the counter. Didn't quite work. Maresca tried something, didn't work, but rotation is key, and certain players need to get game time. But you have really good depth with Cucurella, Reece James, Palmer coming onto the pitch, Garnacho late. Chelsea just sort of forced their way back into the game. Palmer's goal, I thought, was excellent. The cushion down header from João Pedro, more GA for him. A wonderful, instinctive, beautiful finish from Palmer. This is the next level. This is the why I think Chelsea will be in the title race to some degree versus winning it. It's that getting this game seen out. You know for a fact Liverpool are not dropping points the way you did. Arsenal, unlikely to. Chelsea in your pomp. The best Chelsea teams we've seen. Some of the best English sides of all time. Jose's Chelsea. Twice. Carlo Ancelotti's Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel's at his best as well. You see that game out. Champions win. Not at your best. Not a performance that's going to live long in the memory. But you walk away and you're like, yes. Because you know you're going to get better. And I did think the second half performance warranted a win. Yes, Brentford were great on the counter and they were valuing the game, but I just felt both your goals were such high quality, you deserved it. But the issue, it was predominantly set pieces tonight. You were susceptible to the counter-attack, but everybody is. And as much as I know some football fans nowadays are creating these really weird expectations, and you see this in all walks of life. You know, people just sort of trying to make themselves in the dating world, I think men call it like a high value man. And there is some stock in that to be as high value as possible. But those sort of levels and the standard people are pushing out is getting so high, it's almost unattainable by multi-billionaires with the world at their feet, let alone your average Joe like me. So sometimes you've got to be very mindful of where you are. We're doing it in football. And you can't be brilliant in every single game. You simply can't do that. It is impossible. Twisted Bubba here in the comments saying, I am high value. You may be in your own mind, my friend. You may be. And I think this is where sort of Chelsea fans, still need to get behind their team. But it was just that sort of the biggest issue I felt tonight in this game. You fought your way back into it. I lost my train of thought reading one of those comments. You fought your way back into it. I think you deserved it. It's one of those games where you go away feeling really happy because you look at it and go, I know my team can get through that adversity. So yes, a bit of a lack of concentration at the end, especially from Alejandro Garnacho. And I think there'll be a real disappointment amongst Chelsea fans tonight because he was so influential and involved in what should have been the winning goal, fell asleep at the back post. But there is a wider issue that Garnacho shouldn't take the full blame for. And that is that all night Chelsea had major problems with set pieces. 2, 3, 4 touches every single time Brentford crossed the ball, threw the ball into the box. Rob Sanchez getting involved in everything, pushing players around, getting involved. Maybe he should have been focusing on catching the ball rather than the players. And it's something Maresca's got to look at because we're nitpicking now. We're nitpicking in the analysis of Chelsea because you're a brilliant side. We're nitpicking in the analysis of Chelsea because you need to nitpick. Your club needs to nitpick. That's how Jose won you Premier Leagues. That's how Ancelotti won you Premier Leagues. That is how the best managers in the world win the league titles. The difference between first and second is nitpicking. Minor details, by and large. Some years you'll get a team that wins it at an absolute canter. It's easy. But by and large, it is details. Defending those set pieces better should be the first point of call in training the next time you get to work on sessions. Work on those set pieces. Because I think what's going to happen is teams are now going to target that. Well, we know Chelsea are a little bit susceptible to set pieces. And you don't want that tag. Do you know why? I'm a Man United fan. And being susceptible to set pieces, teams start cheering when they get corners and throws like they've got a penalty. You don't want to go anywhere near that. So you need a couple of games now where everything's just getting headed out first time, more aggression, more authority in that box and clear your lines. The and this is what I was actually talking about earlier before I lost my train of thought. The counter-attack element, there's very little you can do. And I genuinely mean this. I think we're overanalyzing football when we say, oh, God, we've got to stop these counter-attacks against us. Do you know why? Because every team in the world at the moment is susceptible to counter-attacks from Premier League teams anyway. I don't watch the rest of the world, but definitely from Premier League teams. All of our teams and all of our squads are full of so many players that are strong, quick, and pacey. And unless you don't want your team to attack, you're always going to be susceptible to a counter-attack. So I do think the set pieces are an issue. I think concentration, that mentality through to that final whistle. Chelsea fans tonight, whether you're in West London, whether you're in East London, whether you're anywhere in England or anywhere around the world, don't attack your team. I don't believe that I've got standards. You don't show you're a bigger fan by being ridiculously angry and nasty. There are times when we all lose our temper with our football club, and I'm not suggesting you shouldn't be angry, but don't throw baby out with the bathwater. Don't put ridiculous, unnecessary pressure upon your team. Don't create ridiculous standards, but be assertive. Show your frustration and demand areas of improvement. Concentration through to that final whistle and those set pieces. I think if you do better in those two areas, again, you start picking up more points. And I am nitpicking and I am being pernickety when it comes to Chelsea because I believe you're a fantastic team. I'm not going to treat you like I would treat Spurs. I'm not going to treat you how I treat my own club, Man United, right now, who are at the fledgling stages of a journey. You are a season or two away from being one of the best teams in the world. You've got to be harsh. You've got to be harsh. Whiplash harsh. If you know what I'm talking about. There are some things to be positive about, though. Palmer, back from injury, looking like he's ready to go. Caicedo today, forget the goal. I mean this in a positive way for Chelsea, but a horrible way for me. He's like a wasp. Right? And you might not get the analogy when I say it out loud. And you'll go, I hate wasps. Wasps don't hate wasps. Wasps love what they are, right? And what I mean by that is every time you think, oh, Brentford might be through, the fucker's there. You know, when you're having a picnic and you go, oh, I think he's gone. I'm going to get my sandwich out. Fuck, he's on my hand again. I'm going to have a drink. Oh, he's on my cup. That's what he's like. It's like a wasp around a picnic. Now, it's annoying for me. I'm watching it going, oh, Brentford might be in here. Because, of course, I want jeopardy in the game. I don't really want to see my rivals win football matches. He's just there, isn't he? He don't stop. Relentless. Excellent on the ball as well. And the goal he scored tonight, a shame it will probably be forgotten. Probably be forgotten in the grand scheme of things. I think you've got to be really careful about who you play at fullback. But rotation is going to be key and it's going to be needed. Because I didn't like the sort of starting 11 that you put out tonight. I felt it was a little bit too clunky. And it led to João Pedro dropping too deep, which meant you didn't have a number 9 presence. And there's only one. There was 2 moments in the first half. A long ball over the top to Neto, bad touch, let him down. And there was some really good intricate play, literally in the last 30 seconds of the first half. But that was only doable because somebody was in the 9 position. So I think that when it comes to starting Pedro, you need someone playing 10. You need someone who's a natural 10 or can play 10 comfortably and well. Stop João Pedro dropping deep because there's no one else at the moment that's filling them holes. No one else that's filling that gap. And I think it made it easier for Brentford's defending in that regard. But as I say, look, it is big points dropped. It is because I think every single point this season matters. Every goal matters. What is going to separate the top 3, top 4, top 5, top 6? I don't think it's going to be loads. I don't think it's going to be loads. So that frustration should exist. But look, I want your views. I want your opinions now. Get those comments in. Get the like button hit as well, please. Very important. And turn on that bell notification button, people. Let me know your thoughts. Now, let me just timestamp as we go into these super chats before we bring out the panel tonight. We've got David backstage. We've got, I know you said Kwess. We haven't got Kwess. We've got Kojo backstage. We've got Andrew Barnes, and we've got Ash, who is a Newcastle fan who might be here to gloat. Funnily enough, I wonder if Ches and the boys are turning up tonight. I wonder. Not this year from Mike. It says, not good enough, Terry. I knew we wouldn't come away with 3 points today. Well done, Brentford. Look, I think that there is... I agree with that opening line, not good enough. And I think it's very fair to say that about your team. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And you need to have that level of expectation every single game because you want to try and win the Premier League or get as close to it as possible. Nav here says it's annoying how slow the defense is. Everyone first half will be like this. I expect it and go for it in the second half. It's obvious to see was a bad night. I don't think your defenders are naturally too. Do you mean slow with speed or speed of play? I'd love to get you to explain what you mean by that. Judge Mo's joining us on soon. He was like, "You must be in a bad mood today." I had the Inter game on actually. I'm watching Serie A this year, so I'm watching. Oh, Rasmus scored. Good son. No, he weren't a bad player. Everyone except Chelsea fans knew that they won't win the league because of their goalkeeper and defenders. Games like this will happen. I'll be honest with you, user. I haven't met a single Chelsea fan who's predicting them winning the league. I haven't met a single Chelsea fan who hasn't said literally what you've just stated there. That in this community, anyway, the Football Terrace community, it's very much been. I think we could challenge, or I think we'll be there or thereabouts. But with this goalkeeper, they don't believe it's doable. So I haven't heard many say what you've just said, to be fair. People won't like this, but my patience is running genuinely thin with the centre-backs for Fana especially. You don't get to be injury-prone and continue to stink. That's fair. Yeah, he didn't have a great game. I want to talk about next level, Moises Caicedo. Yeah, the man's just an absolute phenom. He's a phenom of a football player. He really, really is. I don't know. Konate to Real Madrid in Jan for 35 million. Here we go. Okay. Is that just been announced, is it? I don't know. But thank you, Sean. Cheers, mate. I understand managing fitness, but that lineup at the end of the game would have won if they started. The buying game is less important in the big picture. See, I disagree with you, bro. I disagree with you, and I've got to back Maresca. He has to rotate. This is... Oh, you've seen everyone do it today. Arsenal. Like I'll be reacting to this tomorrow. I heard Richard Keys and Andy Gray talk about how dropping Rice for the game is why Arteta won't win the league. It's stupid. You won't win the league if you don't rotate. If you're in the Champions League and you're trying to win both, you can't. It's impossible. You have to rotate. And this is where, and your manager, he might make a mistake in terms of maybe shouldn't have played that fullback and should have maybe started Garnacho instead of getting G. I think that's fine. But the concept, you have to rotate. It has to be done, my friend. It has to be done. I think we United can beat Chelsea. Won't be easy. I made a note on that as well, actually, on my notepad. If we play the Chelsea team in the first half, we can win. If we're playing that Chelsea team in the second half, we lose. We lose. That Chelsea team in the second half will beat Man United. And that's also part of this. There's so much football in these next 4 weeks before the next international break. It's basically 2 games a week for Chelsea. They have to rotate. They can't not do it, unfortunately, for them. Lethargic. We had too many of those last season. Tosin keeps letting attackers turn in for a shot and not show them down the line. Fulham goal and twice today. Yeah, I saw a lot of people blame Rob Sanchez for the goal. And actually, I think Tosin, he was blind because of the way Tosin defended. And Tosin wasn't close enough to be able to stop that. He should have been a little bit closer, in my personal opinion. Chelsea have had a poor start to this campaign. Well, it was almost brilliant with 10 points, and it should have been. And I don't expect every team to be purring at the beginning of the season. We know how Chelsea can perform. What I would say, and I think it's fair analysis, and I've seen Chelsea fans talk about it, VAR when it came to that free kick. And by the way, that free kick, they're not marking the meter line anymore, are they? If you noticed that. And there's the Fulham goal, which the PGMOL admitted was wrong. Could those results have been different had those goals stood? Would Chelsea have beaten Fulham? Would they have lost against Palace? We don't know. You might have come back against Palace because a goal changes the impetus. You might still have beaten Fulham. You very much could have beaten them still. Definitely some holes and things. But then you haven't had. I'm not surprised that Man City and Chelsea have both looked a little sketchy at the beginning of the season. You haven't had a break. You've literally gone from one season straight into the next. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. We can't ignore that. I know some Chelsea fans, because of the way you banter Arsenal, you've done the whole no excuses thing. I said at the time it was a really bad thing to start doing, because there is a reason you may be a little bit scrappy to begin the season with. Doesn't count. Palmer never scores off the bench. Am I doing it right? Oh, yeah, because Ash said that earlier. Ash, the Newcastle fan earlier, said Arsenal's win didn't really count because Zubamendi doesn't score that often. So, yeah, you are doing it right, but Ash is being a troll. We bottled it big time for sure, but I am the only one thinking that Gittens is an absolute fraud. This guy is honestly not that good. George is better. First 60 minutes was worrying. I'll be honest, Z, I'm a big fan of Gittens. I meant everything I said in the summer when I watched him play. I thought it was really exciting. He looks so tentative and scared at Chelsea. He looks really nervous when he's playing. You ever seen like sort of gangster or hooligan movies, and you got like the young upstart and one of the big bosses or one of the sort of the main characters kind of gets a bit aggressive with them, and they'll sort of like go into their shadow a bit and look a bit scared, and then goes, we're only joking. That's how he looks on the pitch. He just looks a little timid. Maybe he shouldn't be starting just yet. It takes some players time to settle. All I know is that my actual first team is calm, but these second string, third string boys have to step up or get out. Palmer, Caicedo, world class. Listen, at some point they've got to step up. It's squads win your league titles. You can't win a league title without a good squad. It's practically, you've got the Leicester example, but again, that's an anomaly. That's once in 40 years. How many years is that now? No wins versus Brentford. Or is it? It's quite a while actually. For Chelsea. Gittens is not going to work out at Chelsea, is what Nav says here. The lineup was man management and Bayern on Wednesday. By the way, you beat Bayern and you beat Manchester United. You may feel very differently about this, and the rotation may make sense. Again, you lose to Bayern and lose to Man United. That's when the rotation issue does really bite. It's like you don't win the games that you've rotated for. Walking football, I mean, Trev and tossing the whole game. I can hear you on that. The ball should have got moved a lot quicker in the first half, definitely. I am so frustrated. First half lineup was not good enough. Why start for Fana? Gittens is so raw, not good enough. Garnacho, Palmer made more of an impact. What I would say about Garnacho starting, though, again, just being fair and objective, he hasn't had a pre-season. Is he actually ready to start games? You start him and he ruptured something. It's crazy. So we've got to be fair. He has no pre-season. Personally think Sanchez played well. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think Sanchez, he probably got a little bit involved with pushing and shoving on set pieces, but I don't look at that last goal as a Sanchez issue. He shouldn't have been coming for that first ball. If he comes to that first ball, he's probably not going to get it, and then he leaves an open goal. I wouldn't, I don't think it was a combination. Other players need to take responsibility. If Cucurella ain't playing, or Palmer, or Enzo, or Caicedo, when you play, help out. Really take pressure off them, revive pressure off them. Is that what you meant to say? Relieve is what you meant to say. Pressure off them. Yeah, I understand that, and I think that's important. And I think it is a very fair thing tonight to criticize some of those players that came in. I think that's a very, very fair thing to do and to talk about. Right, it's time to bring the panel on now, people, to have their say. We've got quite a lot of people to come on and talk about this game. We're going to break it down. We're going to go through it. We're probably going to start at the end and what went wrong, and then kind of break down the performance. I think it makes more sense to go that way round. Let me just get all of my overlays and stuff ready, and we'll start bringing you all out. Mo's here. We've got Kojo, Barnsey. We've got Winter Surfer. We've got David. We've got Ash. We've got Elijah on the show. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all well and good on this beautiful Saturday evening. I'm going to give you first, Kojo. You had it in your hands, bro. You had the game won. Caicedo gets a screamer. Garnacho gets sort of assist, and you can see the way they celebrated with him, but it fell through your fingertips over a very poorly defended. I mean, there's a little irony in it as well, considering you've got Rory Delap's son in your squad now. It was his goal, really. But why did it go wrong at the end? What do you think that was down to?
Wow. Listen, I think I've said it before about Chelsea. That defense needs a pure leader, right? When I say a pure leader, what that means is doesn't have to be the best header of the ball, but somebody who can actually organize the defense very, very well. When I played football, there's always that one guy that is able to organize the people to say, hey, you go there, you go there. That last goal, there's a picture in our group chat. There's 5 men around the ball. 5 men around two players to defend the ball coming in. That's when you haven't got a defensive leader who's able to vocalize to say, hey, yo, you move, right? So because we don't have that at this moment, from what I'm seeing, unfortunately, it's gonna cost us goals. That's number one. Number two is also personal liability or personal responsibility, I should even say, right? Now, I think Garnacho had a great game. Came on. You know what? Shoot, he might start repaying the 39 million real quick. You know what I mean? So shout out to him for the attacking display. But people like Garnacho, all right, I played with footballers like them. They need to be switched on, which means you need somebody else in the defensive line to always on their neck. Like, yo, switch on, get in. Like, you know your man's at the back. Do not let him pass you. That's what a defensive leader will tell you to do, and that keeps you on board, keeps you on guard. Because we're not happening that, what ends up happening is the ball goes past him. He's dawdling. The ball goes past him. The player scores the last minute goal. Again, this is all what I said. I've always said this before. That's why I was on Chelsea from the very beginning of the season. It's not that I don't think we're going to do well. I want us to do the best we can do, and the best means that at times that play that we have, especially in the first half, has mirrored what we've been playing the last few weeks. It's slow, it's laborious, it is boring, and it is unpenetrative. There's no point having all possession and doing nothing with it. Okay, like you can tire out the other team, and now we're at 2-2. So what's the point? So for me personally, I actually think that rotation is great. I think we need to go back to old school rotation. Here's what old school rotation says: play your best team first, and then rotate as the game goes. You know what I mean? Because this rotation, where you start with players who are actually not in the system already, we can see how it's playing out. It's not going to work very well because they have to be bled into the team, and you haven't got a system. We have a winning team who had a great campaign before this, and then we start shifting people out, and what ends up happening is actually the team doesn't get a rhythm. So if you always change every game and have different players coming in, yeah, you're changing, but actually got no rhythm. So for me personally, if you're going to win, you start with your best team as possible. Injuries are going to happen. It is what it's is. It's a campaign. You can't stop them. Even if you take them off and don't play them from the beginning, injuries will still happen. So play your best team, and then you rotate as the game goes. That's how we should do it. That's how you're going to win. Otherwise, you're going to get no consistency, no rhythm. But I'm not going to be too harsh. I'm just saying that I want to win. So if we're going to win, some of those things need to be addressed. But well played to the lads, because they did get themselves back into a winning position. Just that mentality of killing off a game and making sure no one can get past you.
I hear that. I mean, this is the picture you mentioned, as you say, like sort of 5 players all fighting and scrapping for one ball. They're only really marking 2 players. I mean, you have a couple of players behind them or near the back post. You probably clear that and clear up the second balls. Which is a mad one. David, what did you make of this tonight, mate? I mean, you won it. You had the game won. I'm sure you were sitting there talking that you were going to come on here saying thanks for Garnacho, big up Caicedo. Why do you think it fell apart at the end? What do you put it down to, mate?
That gimmicky long throw. That's most of their created chances for the whole game. And they did a really good job of it. They drilled it really well. So you have to give credit to Brentford. I thought Brentford actually did a really good job of identifying our weaknesses and then attacking those weaknesses. I thought they did really well for that. So fair play to Brentford. I mean, yeah, I think, to be honest, I think the back stick one is just, you've got to follow your man. You've just got to follow his man. I don't think there's really that much more to it, to be honest. Sanchez can make, again, I'd argue that Sanchez needs to command his box better, but in the moment, it happens. But again, like the 5 people around the ball, it's actually not that bad. I think if you go one-on-one and it's Kukurea against Christopher Ayer, then you're losing that header every time. So I actually don't mind crowding the area and trying to just put them off. So it's just it's one of those things. It's a game that was close and we thought we had won it, and then we drew it in the end. However, I'd argue that if that game was last year, we would have lost it. So, you know, again, there's positives, negatives to come with the game. It was a pretty 50-50 game, and I think a draw is a pretty fair result. It was quite funny when they scored their second goal. I saw VAR come up, and I was thinking, oh, if this gets disallowed, then everyone's going to be on our bloody neck. So yeah, it happens. It's one of those games. I'm not going to lose my head over it. It's literally a draw against a team that we've not beaten in the Premier League since they've been there. So it's not like it's a new problem. Every team's got a bogey team. As long as it doesn't continue, then it's not really a problem. It's just a draw.
I think you're struggling to find words for this, David, to be honest.
How? I've just explained.
Because
I've
I
literally just had
don't
a
think that you thought.
minute
Do you think your
talking
team was
about it.
good enough today? Do you think your team was good enough?
I said it was. I literally said it was a poor game. We all have them. As long as it doesn't continue. As long as it. Well, Mo. I'm not going to
in 4 games. Let me just say.
Mo,
He's getting excited, Mo, you know.
Mo, I literally just said,
Dave, in
Mo,
4 games. Give me a second.
Mohammed.
Let me explain. My name is not Mohammed. My name is not Mohammed. My name is not Mohammed.
You didn't listen to me.
I did listen to you, and you're really like, it's okay. It's 1 game. You know, we haven't won against Brentford for a while. It is fine. Bro, in the first half, you didn't have a shot on target. You guys had to. Why is had to play an attacking midfielder? Who's supporting Gittens? I saw Chelsea fans scapegoating Gittens when he's isolated again against 2 defenders. It's the same problem that happened last year, and only the people that were here last season knew exactly what I'm talking about. Inverting 2 fullbacks, but you had 1 today, which is Hato, who was in the middle, and Gittens was isolated. Neto was trying his best. He beats 1 man. I don't know his name. He finds Ethan Pinnock. He tries to cross. There's too many Brentford players. Again, it's only Joao Pedro in the 18. There is isolation with 2 defenders. I've never seen this in football, by the way. And by the way, we have said this plenty of times in the Club World Cup. One of the things that Maresca did in the Club World Cup is that he did not isolate his wingers with 2 defenders. He provided support. But today, again, Hato playing attacker. What was the point of having a fullback there? Hato, who's not defending, by the way, he wasn't involved in defending at all, right? Nobody can argue this. He wasn't involved in defending, and he wasn't involved in attacking as well, Hato, at all. Chelsea in the first half were playing 10 men because Hato had no role on the pitch. He's just standing there trying to attract I don't know what, because Brentford didn't even pay attention to him. And Pedro Neto, by the way, he was Chelsea's best winger today. He was trying his best. But again, you cannot beat 50,000 men in front of you. And that is what Brentford did. 0 shots on target when Brentford gave you the ball. The majority of the half. Everyone, and I'm going to finish on this. All the Chelsea people, including all the YouTubers, pundits, are going on Tosin being Tosin is being isolated 1-on-1. It's not his fault. That's a coaching problem. If you can have that, at least have shots on target. I'm expecting, if you're going to leave 1-on-1 at the back, I'm expecting peppering the opposition's goal. I'm expecting every 5 minutes a shot on target. But 0 shots on target and leaving a defender 1-on-1 at the back, that's a coaching problem, by the way. And again, he didn't do this in the Club World Cup. Why is he going back to this inverting thing, not supporting in the Premier League? I don't know. I thought he's gone past this. I thought his fullbacks are gonna go forward again.
I mean, again,
and overlap.
I hope Mo's got the same energy. I hope he got the same energy later on, you know.
Say that again. I'm sorry, my friend.
He did invert. He did quite literally invert in the World Cup. But anyway, I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. I just hope Mo is gonna keep the same energy, because when I come up for your team, I hope you got the same energy, because you pepper in talking every time you come on to Chelsea talking. I hope you're ready when it comes to your turn, because the way you pep up, it'd be a lot.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Seriously.
Don't worry.
No. I want to. What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
I said the way that you talk to Chelsea. I said I hope you keep the same energy when your team is going for a little game. I hope you keep the same energy.
I do keep the same energy.
But no, sir. No, I don't think necessarily all the way wrong. I don't think all the way wrong, right? I just think you got a lot of passion for our team, which I appreciate. You should become a fan. But my thing is, obviously, I think
passion for football, for analyzing football, not scapegoating players. That's the problem.
That's what I said. Keep the same energy.
That's the problem.
So my thing with that is that Gittens on the left. I've said this before, and I said at the very beginning of the season. Okay, I said at the very beginning of the season. Remember me saying it? Gittens is not the player you think he is. Because when you're playing that wing, one thing that I'm seeing from Gittens, it's the same thing I saw with Sancho, is they're not aggressive with taking on that man. And when you're not aggressive, you make it easier for the defender to go, I know you ain't gonna go past me. There was only 1 or 2 times I saw Gittens actually go past the defender. And when he did, he cut back in, and the cut back in was awful. So here's what's gonna happen. He's got to learn it quick. I don't know if you get a coach or whatever to help him in personal training to make sure that when you've got the speed. Once you beat that defender, we're not cutting back in. We're not cutting back in to come back on your right. You cut in and you get inside the box so that if he touches you, it's a foul. And that's why I said to you at the very beginning of the season, I said that with Gittens, that lack of aggression is going to cost him. And if he doesn't get it quickly, he's going to expose that left wing. As soon as Garnacho came on, I'm not even trying to buy it. Of course, it's a different type of game at that point, of course. But like I said, somebody who gets the ball and is aggressive and goes goes inside, fantastic. They're aggressive with it. They make that defender want to commit. And if you don't do that, you're going to always have problems. So I'm not going to scapegoat him and say that it's because Hato was playing inside or whatever. No, Gittens is not aggressive. And that is evident when he plays. He needs to get on that quick. But thank you, Mo. We appreciate you for supporting Chelsea.
I do also think Gittens wasn't put in the best position to show off what he can do. Because when he did get the ball in the right spot, he did beat his man and cut in, and it was a very tame shot, but he did get a shot off. If you remember it, when he cut back in and got it off. He just needs to get more opportunity. He just needs to get more opportunity. That's it.
Glock 9 here says, I found a lost Gitten in my garden. Does anyone want to adopt him? He's harmless and wouldn't hurt a fly. Feel free to pick him up at Stamford Bridge. TH14 here says, after 2 billion spent, do any of Chelsea's defenders definitely start for Liverpool, City, or Arsenal? The team was built poorly, great midfield, iffy forwards, and dead defenders.
I mean,
they definitely do.
None of the centre backs start for any of those teams.
No, they definitely do. Chalobah could easily start ahead of
the centre backs. Everybody knows the centre backs. Everybody knows the centre backs.
No, he could.
The centre backs are poor, but the full backs.
Hang on, one second, guys. So, Kwess, you think that Chalobah could start for Liverpool?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, he wasn't even the problem today. The problem was tossing. So
no.
What I love about me though is I'm never gonna let anybody else's disdain for my opinions change my mind. So I'm gonna tell you the truth today, because Mo said it, and that's what made me turn up here. Because I told Ashley I'm not coming. Yeah, win, lose or draw. But you're not gonna tell me it's a coaching problem. Tossing at his big age, right, at 27, should know that when a player's right-footed, you show him on his left. Against Fulham, he did the same thing, and that's what allowed Fulham to score. He put Sanchez in a position where Sanchez couldn't actually defend the goal. If you actually watch the game, Chalobah's only mistake today was running out and trying to grab that the tackle, which allowed them to get into behind. So fair enough. Everybody gets one, and we've seen it with Konate this season. So for me, if you're telling me about starting, obviously he's not better than Van Dijk, but can he get in over Konate? Yes, absolutely. Now the rest of the teams, I'm going to tell you no, because I watched Mascara today. He's phenomenal. Gabriel's phenomenal. Saliba's phenomenal. Yes, I hear you. But you're definitely not telling me that none of the defenders get in, because it's just not true. Kirkes is still not better than Cucurella and all that good stuff. Listen, everybody can lose their heads about today, all right? But you just got to you got to take it in your stride. It's a tough loss. And I'm saying a loss because obviously we had the 2 points there, extra 2 points. But you got to remember, that at this point in the season, everybody probably was writing us further off. So it's not a great place to be, but you've got to take it. You just got to take it. You just got to take it. 5th place. We go into match week 5. We go again. We'll be all right. Is my thing on that. And I stand by Chalobah could get in ahead of Konate. Absolutely. Yes.
Can you define what you're going to be all right with? Like, what does that mean? We're going to be all right?
I'm going to be all right with the fact that we've played 4 London derbies so far. That always means people are going to turn up and give you an extra 50% each game. I'm all right with the fact that we've played away to a team that we've only won once in the last 6-2. And despite them losing their players, it's still a game where they're in their heads going to go, actually, to be fair, we've got a chance against Chelsea. And I'm going to be all right with the fact that I know my issues are not necessarily to do with the fact that the team is bad. It's just today Maresca picked an 11 that probably wasn't strong enough to win in the first half. And naturally, Maresca's games always mean Chelsea struggle in the first half because he asked them to play really heavy possession football without taking a lot of risks. And I've said this before, if you don't get goals in the first half with Chelsea's system, it means you have to have a really flipping good second half in order to balance out what happens. We were just blessed that in the first half against Fulham, we got the goal later on in the first half. So, yeah, I'm all right. Like, it's annoying to think that we had the game won, but at the same time, you got to take it in your stride. We've got so many more games coming up. If you're going to sit and cry and break down and have a heart attack about this one, it's a long old season. So, and I can see obviously people saying bottle jobs. I don't know how you can bottle it this early, but boy, we will see. We will see. Top 4 is always the aim. So we're still on track for that. And that will always be the aim. As long as the season.
I don't want to say an agenda or anything, but Terry, have you just seen my screenshots I put in the chat?
Why are you sending me those pictures of yourself again, bro? What are you doing that for? I told you already about that. No, hang on. The ones you just put in.
The last two. Yeah.
Okay, so let me. I haven't seen them. I can see them now. Break down what you want to say. Well, I'll get them up on the screen. But go on.
So he said that I don't know if any of you guys saw what VAR looked at for that last goal. Because I didn't. I was too busy laughing, to be honest. I didn't see what they were looking at. So he said that I got the assist, but I've just took 2 screenshots of where it looks like it's came from, and it does look like Altara's kind of like touched the ball.
It's offside.
And he was in an offside position from when I headed it.
Right, hang on. So let me just. Okay, I get what you're saying now because I didn't know what was going on here for a second.
So if you see the first one, you can see when it hits the head.
Okay,
of Aya.
so yeah, we'll get these made now and just get these put up onto the screen. Oh, do you know what? I'm so dumb. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm looking at the player in blue. How can he be offside? He's defending, so I'm being so thick. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what are you talking about offside? He's meant to be there. I'm like, no, they're down the other end. Right, let me just get these up on the screen so you can see.
Bear in mind, I'm going to say this again because I saw someone in the chat. I support Newcastle. I do not support Chelsea. So I have no agenda for this.
I hear that. So they're both, and just upload these pictures. And we'll put them in the order. So where the flick on is made, then the playing of the ball. So that's the first one you put in. So
it says that Aya, who's headed the ball right there, got the assist. Not offside from a throw-in that people are saying. So at this point, Aya's headed the ball, and he's got the assist for this. But then, so if you look at like the next one, are you telling me that, or is he not? I can't tell. From
no, he would be offside.
Is that Endu's fault though? I can't tell.
But who got that first touch?
The Brentford player, Terry. The Brentford player.
That means they're saying there was no touch here.
It doesn't matter if there's a touch or no touch, by the way. At this point,
no,
you're going to play the ball. No, it doesn't. He's interfering with Reece James trying to clear the ball, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If he's offside,
that's what I'm saying. He's offside anyway. But he's offside anyway, so he's interfering with the ball.
The letter of the law saying you are interfering because Reece James, if Ouattara's not in contention with the ball, Reece James might have cleared it, but Ouattara's impeding him from playing the ball, and he's in offside position. So hence, it's offside.
So Chelsea were robbed, is what we're saying.
No, in essence, but
I'm not exist for Chelsea, so
we did, but we're not crying about it.
Yeah,
guys, the law is the law. Yeah. This should have been offside.
I'd cry about it.
Come on, man. We don't do that.
I'm sorry.
My thing is that they should defend it better. They should defend it better.
It doesn't matter.
We were also defensively. I don't.
But I agree. We should have defended better.
Yeah.
Yes, you should have defended better. But you should have defended.
You know, so we're not crying about it. We move on.
You should have defended better.
Maybe.
No, but VAR apologized. I mean, PGMOL apologized for the Fulham one. So I mean,
no. What we should do, we should make Sanchez win save of the month, because we can just do that.
Listen, I know we live in this world now where everybody wants to take like personal responsibility for things, and as fans, there's nothing personal for you to take here. If that is offside, I'll have to watch the actual footage again because sometimes screenshots can look like something's happened. If that's offside, I don't think it matters if you defended badly or not. It should still be called out. The same as if that goal goes in and you go up the other end and score a winner, it should still be called out because we should be pushing for referees to make the right decisions. I think we've got to get out of this notion of I can't make excuses because excuses are weakness. I don't know where this has come from in the game. I don't know why this happens so much.
But you know what, Terry? It's too late to do that now because the PGMO have already taken that referee off 2 games. So you can't even celebrate referees making the right decision now because the pressure's already there. Like once that decision's gone, no one can say, oh, well, we agree, even if the public have said we think it's wrong, you can't say anything. It's done. Even if we were right about that, we would have said it and people would have been like, yeah, but this is what Chelsea did. Yeah, you there's nothing you can do.
No, but we'll also feel differently, Terry, if we had lost this game. If there was like 3-2, then we would be like debating this and feeling differently about this. But right now, what's annoying is that we did drop points here. We could have had it, and as soon as they added 6 minutes and I saw that long throw, I was like, I hope Sanchez comes out and gets this ball. But yeah, like this the only positives I can say about this game is that Palmer came back. He seems fit enough to play. I mean, again, I think he'll play a couple of halves before he comes on fully. He scored a goal from open play, which is yay. We don't have to hear that anymore. And
Yeah.
Caicedo's screamer was a beautiful goal. I wish that it was the winner. Unfortunately, it was not. I think that for the players, like I think Kojo made the point that the rotation should have been done better. Like we should have been in a winning position, been in a more commanding position, and then sort of swap players out so that we could have had like a better starting 11. Because as soon as I saw the starting 11, it was so uninspiring. I was like, man, what is he going to do? How is he going to play? And when you saw that, I think when Tyreek George came on, you saw that as soon as João Pedro was in a 10 position, or when he dropped deeper, he was being more effective. And then you could see Enzo and Pedro Neto, who was actually one of the other like good players today. They started to link up better. And that pass, I really hope Palmer finished that second attempt that he had, because that pass was so good. Because everything about that build up, everything was so good. I just think that like a better finish there. We could have been talking differently. We could have been on the top of the table. It's just that these kind of games, I think Kwess made the point, is that we played 4 London derbies, and these kind of games are tough. And I'm glad to be where we are right now, even after playing like 4 like tough games. And yeah, we see how we go from here on. It is a long season. I think somebody in the super chat said that this game is more important than the Bayern game. I disagree. I think that in knockout tournaments we have better chances, we play better. So if we can get a head start there, and Bayern is going to be a tough game. So I really hope that we go there. We have the squad that is rested now. He puts out the 11 to win it in the first half, and when I say win it in the first half, but at least be in a commanding position. Yeah, and then let's go. There's 3 more games left in like less than 10 days. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I hear that. I mean, another London derby next week when you play Manchester United. Old jokes for the oldies. Winter Surfer, what did you make of today? You know, a lot of frustration from Chelsea fans in the super chats on the panel tonight. Do you echo that?
Yeah. I don't mind the rotation. I only mind the rotation if the coach fails to see and change things quickly, and he did at half time and straight after 10 minutes. So I don't mind the rotation. It's just that we've got beta centre backs, we've got sidekick centre backs. There's no leader at the back there to take advantage. You can shake your head, Quest, all you want, but it's true. They're just not leaders. I mean, Tosin looked so slow today as well. It's the slowest I've seen him move. They're just not. You needed someone just to get your head in it at the end. Just to put your head through it. I don't even blame Sanchez really. I'm Sanchez, one biggest Sanchez hater, but you just needed someone at the back just to say, this is what we're just going to get through the last 6 minutes. We're just going to head everything out. We're just going to clear it. We're not going to bother about playing it nicely, passing it, and just moving it out. And then we would sit here on 10 points. But that's the end of the transfer window. Is what most of us before the transfer end was saying. We needed to buy another centre back, because these two, for a long stretch of the season, are not good enough. They're good enough to maybe get us 4th at the end of the season, 4th, but nothing more, nothing less. And I thought Caicedo was immense there. I thought Enzo Fernandez was very good, especially second half. He's basically playing right back for most of the second half as well. But yeah, and I think David's right as well. It's like Mo said as well. Like Gittens was so isolated on the left.
Mm-hmm.
It's just. I feel anyone who plays on the left is isolated, maybe apart from Neto. Anyone who goes on our left is just always isolated. Even Tyreek George was isolated on the left today when he moved there, and that's a big problem. But we're playing scrappy. We just like I say, we just need a leader at the back, and we just don't have it with these two. They're just sidekicks. That's what they are. They're side bitches. That's what they are.
I just actually checked the replay. Actually, Ouattara took it off Reece James's foot.
Okay.
Actually, he actually changed the trajectory of the ball. I just replayed it very slow, and it touched Reece James's leg as well. But there was a change of trajectory of the ball off Ouattara's left foot, so
but
it should have been offside.
We don't even know. But the thing is, though,
and I think they did it because they didn't they didn't want to cause a scene, and I think because of the apology from the Fulham game and all this stuff. This is how incompetent they are. To be honest with you, I just wanted to say something about this. I think Stuart Atwell is the most clueless referee probably in the world. He likes to show authority in games. For both teams today, he stopped the ball in some areas where it shouldn't be stopped. He called like weird stuff that I just didn't know what he was calling. And I think that really, to be honest, Stuart Atwell is the most clueless guy. I don't know how he's a Premier League referee and international referee.
By the way, their time wasting actually proved invaluable for them. The only reason it was 6 minutes is because it took so long taking the damn throw-ins throughout the entire match to begin with. So, but again, we should have had someone just to, at the end, just put your head through it, just to set the standard. We just didn't do it, and you know, Garnacho should have been marking his man as well. But you know, it's one of those things, Terry. We had the chances as well. We didn't bury them. Do you know what I mean? We didn't. And
it's true.
The first half,
the second Palmer.
The first half though was so reminiscent of Crystal Palace at home. Just the entire game, it was just too slow. It was just too slow, and too many touches.
We just played in front.
We played into their hands. Played into
we literally just. They sat 5. They sat 9 behind the ball. We just said, "Oh, we'll just pass it in front of you, just so we can look good." But we didn't actually create much. And then once you put Palmer in and he starts operating in the spaces that they leave, it suddenly creates massive problems.
Yeah.
It's just annoying because if Palmer wasn't injured, he obviously would have started. And I don't think we've had the same problems in the first half. But you live and you learn.
Yeah.
And also, our 2 centre backs, those 2 centre backs, so that's one of the main reasons why.
I just want to say something before I leave. Go ahead, Terry.
Sorry, I just want to say, I just watched that goal again in slow motion while you were talking. It's definitely offside.
I'm not wrong.
Once again, he was shocking. He was shocking.
Mate, after I went back and watched it. After I went back and watched it,
I look at Elijah. I get you're angry, but I look at it. Hang on, but I look at it this way, right? I know you're a good lad, but I'm going to use you as a hypothetical example. And in fact, I'll use myself, right? If I'm a bit of a naughty lad, right? I do a bit of this, I do a bit of that. Does that mean I should be locked up for something I didn't do?
No.
So that's how I view football. Like, you may have defended badly, you can condemn it, but you can also condemn bad officiating at the same time. But Elijah, you look very angry, bruv. Talk to us. Let it out, my G.
I mean, I'm fuming, man. I'm absolutely fuming because we had it in our hands to win this game. We really did. All I didn't get to is the lineup. And Ensmo Wesker thinks it's okay to put 3 or 4 centre-backs against Brentford. Why? It makes no sense to me. It really didn't. Kukurea, why did he not start? Reece James, why did he not start? Because when these 2 came on, we made an impact. We looked much better. And let me tell you something here. If it weren't for substitutions, we would have never drawn this game. Because the first half, we were so slow. We was lethargic. We were absolutely awful. The passing, the defending was so easy. Instead, if you look at the first goal, Jordan Henderson just passed it into Kevin, and it was so easy. Then the second goal, yes, it may have been offside, but we were shocking defensively. Where was like the marking for that goal, for the second goal, really frustrates me. That goal from Caicedo, a brilliant goal, just wiped away. Like, I don't hear any excuses. We needed to win this game because we got Manchester United next week. And if we play like this, we may not beat Man United or Old Trafford again. I'm sorry, there is no excuses. Brentford are a good team, but we should be beating teams the likes of Brentford, Crystal Palace. We should, but we couldn't. And for me, this result is both on the players and the manager. In terms of Garnacho, I think he done all right, so I will give him that. I thought Neto looked good, Caicedo as well. Who else? Cole Palmer, when he came on, scored. I feel like he should have scored the second chance where Neto made a great one on the right-hand side. So, listen, we have ourselves to blame. So, yeah, listen, maybe, you know, people can say that we got robbed, but I'm sorry. We should do defensively. And I feel like Sanchez should have at least trying to keep that out, but he didn't. And I'm so fuming, man, because honestly, we played this against Bayern. We're gonna get absolutely humiliated by them, and it's just, I don't know what to say, man. But this is where we don't have leaders in this squad. We don't, especially the centre backs, because Chalobah don't know why, but Tosin was really poor today, especially 1v1. He was poor today, and this is why we should have gotten another centre back, and we didn't. And this is why we should have gotten a striker, and we didn't. Because Liam Delap gets injured, what do? We put João Pedro up top, which clearly didn't work. We put Terry George up top, clearly didn't work. So what now? Who can we put up top that can score goals? No one. Because you know why? We didn't get another striker. And this is why I've been saying to the sporting directors that they need to hold accountable.
You wanted to buy 3 number 9s this summer?
No, just 2. Because Liam Delap signing him was not enough.
You bought 2.
You got 2. What?
So who? Who's
We've
the
got
other one?
Delap
But he wasn't in the squad today, so what's an excuse now?
He got injured. So you wanted to buy 3 number 9s this summer?
No, I wanted to buy an experienced striker that can help Liam Delap. That's all I wanted, but we didn't do that. We had the chance to get Victor Osimhen last season, and we didn't. This was wrong with our football club, and this is why we're not going to be anywhere near the title race if we keep on spending just rubbish players. £90 million for both Garnacho and Gittens made no sense to me. I'm sorry. We're going to be a top 4 team again, and it's going to be another failure of the season.
So what if you get top? So wait. So if we finish top 4 this season, it's been a failure of a season.
Yes, because we expect our expectation is to challenge for the league, and but if we continue to play this league, do you honestly think we're going to be the title race? I don't think so.
Right. Okay. Fine. If we challenge for the league and we don't win it, we finish in the top 4. So, what is that still a failure?
Well, listen. Finishing the top 4 is good, but this season is for the title challenge. I want us to close the gap on Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. But if we keep playing like this, we are nowhere near that, because Liverpool and Arsenal are still better than us defensively and attacking. It's only our midfield that is good. When it comes to our defense and attack, it is poor. It is really poor. Even the goalkeeping is poor. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to say, man, but it's just I'm just frustrated, man.
So Elijah, we were never going to get an experienced striker. I don't know why people still keep going about buying experienced players. We've had 3.5 years of these guys not buying the experienced players. So we're never going to do that. My thing was they bought Mark Guéhi back, and he's not even on the bench. So I'd want to know why. There was no reports he was injured or anything. He's not. I know he's not suspended. I'm not saying Mark Guéhi's the best or anything like that, but at least have the option on there, especially when you're moving João Pedro. Because I think João Pedro, while he can play number 9, I don't think he likes to play number 9. We've seen it because he likes to drop it. He likes to drop a bit deeper and stuff like that. But at least have the option on there. I didn't expect it. If you expected it to win, I just don't know what this whole thing about buying experienced players when we already know what the formula is. You shouldn't be frustrated that we're not buying experienced players when you know what players we are going to buy. So I think,
but Andrew, I agree with you. I agree with you with Mark Guéhi. I think that if he was there, so the thing is, he's not the best player, but what he does or what he brings to the team when he played, especially in the Conference League, was the energy.
Like really up front. He's a better option.
Yeah,
to
but
put in
but for me, Tyreek George, when he played against Fulham, I think that he didn't play or he didn't fit that role. On the left, Tyreek George is okay, but Mark
Right.
Guiu knows he has that striker's instinct. Like when you see the kind of goals that he scored in the Conference League, given it's the Conference League, the level is different and all of that, but he has this striker mentality. Like he has those, this poacher mentality. Like he'll try and get the goal. He'll put his leg in there. I like that about the guy, and I wish that he at least played him.
I'm going to jump to some of these super chats. We've got quite a few to get through. First one from Navel says, whoever the guy in the bottom right is, that's David, muscle man. He says, not as muscly as Kojo, though, but yes, very muscly. We move on from talking about these men's muscles. Would you stand on your claim Chelsea has a better 11 than Arsenal, or have you woken up and smelt the coffee?
I don't think I've ever said that. So I'm confused. I'm pretty sure Kwess said that and not me. So you might be mixing up.
Yeah,
you might be mixing.
They all look the same. They do. They all look the same.
I didn't want to say racial profiling, but I was thinking they've got you wrong there, bro. That's
They've got me wrong. That's not me.
But we never even said better 11. We just said no. In fact, I think we said the 11's a lot closer, and I think we said there's more players that can get in than you think there is. But we said Arsenal definitely have a better team. And we've always stood on that. Arsenal have got a better team right now because of what they built. But the 11s are actually a lot closer. And it's the thing. Like, people are going to lose their heads this week. If we go and beat Man United next week, you're going to calm down. Like, everyone needs to chill out. We're 4 games into the season, and we've still not lost in the last 20 games.
No, but Quest, the thing about this result is the way it happened. That's why it's annoying. Like this draw is the way it happened is why it's annoying.
Had you been 2-0 down and Caicedo scores that goal to equalize, you'd all be in a very different mood. Ronin here says, I clipped this. I clipped their dude glazing the squad a few weeks ago. When we won the Club World Cup, the absolute worst. It's about you, Elijah. You were praising the squad, were you, a few weeks ago, Elijah?
Well, Ronan has to be more
don't know if that was me.
Who's he talking about? Who's
I don't
Ronan
know.
talking about?
Yeah, Ronan, you have, I know you say, do you have to try and mention the people so we know, because I don't want to be throwing out accusations at any, but we'll just blame it on Mo. We'll blame it on Mo. Say Mo did it. We say Mo did it. Let that offside goal happen against Arsenal and watch their fans make every show just about officiating, and we are losing heads after 4 games.
Can I just respond to this? Just one thing, because I have to go. I think some football fans went so far one way in bantering Arsenal and clubs for the referees that they are so scared of saying that, because Chelsea, right? Because that was a clear offside goal, but because people don't want to be labeled as crybabies and stuff like that, because they labeled others so they don't want to say it. That's
but more. The thing is, because you all mentioned it, because both of you all mentioned it now, I want to go and watch the goal back. I'll be even more annoyed than I am right now that it's offside.
Mo is spot on. I think a lot of people, not in every case, but I think the vast majority of people that do it. I remember we were on a stream with Don and said, it turns out Colwell is going to be out. And he nearly went, we're really going to struggle now defensively. But then halfway through his sentence, I could tell he realized I'm going to get cooked, because last year I said injuries are no excuse. And it's because we say things. I think it's because we sometimes say things in the banter economy, but then we nail it in like we mean it. And then we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So yeah, sometimes it's like I often, when people say to me, you're defending Chelsea, you're defending Liverpool, it's like, no, I'm saying it because I mean it, but also I might need to say about my club one day. I agree with that. But listen, you guys,
we'll see you guys.
Cheers, Mo. If United and Arsenal perform like that, your analysis would be different. You're cooking Arsenal with more players missing against Liverpool, and you are defending this. Well, look,
we roasted. Wait, can I say this? Because I was one of the biggest roasters. We roasted Arsenal because you didn't bother to attack in the game. There was no effort to attack. You just sat back and just said, we'll take a 0-0 draw. We played badly, but no one can sit here and tell me that we didn't try and win the game. We definitely tried to win the game, and we came up short due to a set piece goal at the end. I can go home and I can live with that. But I know if my team performed how your team did at Anfield, I'd be annoyed. I'd be more annoyed than I am now. I know for a fact. So Yeah.
This year, Ronan said it was you, Elijah.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but listen, yes, I was happy that we won the World Cup.
oh,
I did, but
oh.
I did say, and I did ask this question.
Remember what's
Is
above
this
your head
team-
right now, young man. Before you say, look above your head. All right,
Yeah, I
remember,
know,
you
but-
tell us the truth here.
But
You get
listen,
smacked down.
I asked this question: is this team ready to challenge? I
He's got
did
his
ask
fingers
this
crossed.
question because deep down, I want everyone to know if we're ready to challenge or not. Perform like this? No way.
The power of Christ compels you. You better be telling the truth. I'm getting
I
this out
am.
now.
Go watch
Come
my
on.
video back. It was after the AC Milan game when I asked that question.
Yeah, you see when
Yes.
Yes.
Just every
Just so everybody knows, I am a Christian. I'm making fun of my own religion. I hope everyone's okay with that. If you're not, it's God gave me. I look at it, God gave me a sense of humor. Thank you, God. I'm glad He gave me one. 110% He did. This here says there are two. Sorry, I've got The Exorcist running through my head now. That's a mad film. There we've got like exorcisms on people to get the truth out of them on football streams.
Harry, do you know what?
That's
Do
holy water over them. Do they burn?
Harry, do you know what? Do you know what I can think? Right. So last night I went out with some mates, right, and in this club that we go to, there's a confessional booth where they have a fake priest, and you make a confession, and he gives you a shot of vodka. That's all I can think about now with this.
That's funny. I did confession once. Confession is a madness, and I remember walking away and like, that's all done now. Yeah. I was like, that was not good for me as a young kid, because then I was like, that's that easy to get away with stuff. I was like, yeah, when you're a kid, you don't think like an adult. I was like, that's bad. There are two things that bugged me today: Chelsea's lineup and Noni doing that thing at Chelsea last year and getting shamed for it. This year, he does the same thing for Arsenal, and everyone's praising it.
Yeah, but don't let it burn you, bro. Don't let it burn you.
Fair. I will say this, right? Noni Madueke today was creating opportunities. He was creating opportunities. He was pulling a team back, and I think he gets praised for that. Some of his crosses were overhit today, but some of them were quite dangerous. And you know, something maybe I already knew this, but I realized it today. You can put a cross into an area, and it will go down as an uncompleted cross because the defender clears it. But if the defender's positioning is right, there's nothing wrong with the cross. He's very, very good today, to be fair, Noni. Sorry, already done that super chat there. Enzo looks good now. He is not the DM. Yeah, I actually thought Enzo Fernandez looked really, really good today. Do you know what I've realized about him? I think Kojo and David will probably appreciate this the most. You can tell man's been gym. You can tell he's been lifting weights and drinking protein. There's a strength to him now. He isn't bullied off the ball as easy, which was happening at the beginning of his time. Kojo, are James Cucurella and Chalobah not leaders?
not Chalobah. Let's leave that out.
They're not leaders in terms of like being vocal enough to organize. You know what I'm saying, Chu?
Yeah.
That's the part we're missing. They need to be able to just vocalize. We haven't really got
They're
that.
also
Missing a
they're also
Thiago
not
Silva.
playing-
Thiago Silva
they're not
used to do
playing-
that when he was there for us.
They're not
But
playing the
Thiago
right,
Silva
they're
did
not playing the right position to be leaders either. How's
It's
a
the thing
right
is-
back going to say centre backs get in line? Like, do you know what I mean?
This,
Like,
is,
it's
this
not
is why I blame
right.
Maresca for that today. Because
Yeah,
why
I
is
was
Chalobah
gonna-
playing
the
left
thing
side
is,
centre back?
Yeah,
Makes no
that's a
sense.
coaching problem because you shouldn't be having 5 people go to header a ball and not a single one of you guys get it. Like
It's not. It's not. It's
I-
not
I
necessarily a
disagree.
coaching problem. It's just one of those situations where you're right that somebody should be the guy to organize. If you really want to blame somebody, you probably should put the blame on Reece James because he's the club captain. He's the one that should really be pulling rank. The bigger issue there, though, and Sanchez made a lot of great saves today, but the bigger issue there is the commentator said it in the first half. He's trying to get involved. He shouldn't be involved in that. At that time in the game, your job is to defend the goal with your life. Forget getting involved in corners and throws. You just stick on the line and slap at everything. That's what you need to do. But if you really want to blame somebody, it probably should just be on Tosin and James. Because Tosin, bro, you're the tallest man there with the biggest bean on your shoulders, bro. You have to be the one heading that ball out, bro. It can't. Let me not even start.
I hear you, man. This is can the rivals admit the Gooners actually played some pretty fun and beautiful football today?
They played well
Bro,
today.
I rattled some Arsenal
Watch
fans
them.
today.
Yeah, but what you did say, I went and listened to it back because I am always trying to listen, but sometimes I'm writing a timestamp or I'm checking on another result. I can't believe you actually said. I know they were basically. You said they played really well, but the 3-0 basically flattered them because the guy that scored 2 goals doesn't normally score, and like that's that is like Gary Neville warp logic to create rage.
So the thing is, so I actually never got to fully explain it, and it was basically my logic that I was trying to say was, if Arsenal fans and stuff are saying they're going to win the league now, if what I said was obviously say that Chris Wood goal could have went in, the 2 goals, Zubamendi's not going to be banging in 2 goals every game. It's not the type of play style he has. So I was saying, if you're going to just get by with 1 goal against Nottingham Forest, that's not a team that will end up being challenging for the title.
But what about the other 3 big chances they missed? What about the Moreno chance that was well saved?
Exactly, they've got to be finishing this. You've got to be scoring these goals.
But the other time, you're talking about a good save that Raya made and going, well, it could have gone the other way. But if you're going to include Raya's saved opportunity as something that could have gone against Arsenal, you have to include their missed chances of things that could also go for Arsenal in the future.
Terry,
that's what I mean by the Sky Sports logic. It doesn't make sense.
Not Sky Sports. Total Sports.
But that's like saying we shouldn't get a point today because Caicedo scored. He hardly ever scores. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? I mean, your new striker until today had never scored a goal in the Premier League. So logically speaking, he doesn't score in the Prem most weekends. You didn't really win today.
What you're talking about is a game by game basis. I'm on about Arsenal over the entire season being able to smash goals and actually dominate sides.
If Arsenal play to a point where they create 4 big chances in every single game they play in, right? There's a high chance. That's just forget all the half chances. There is a very good chance they win a large amount of games. That coupled with Moreno having the sitter, then you've got Gyökeres, who was so unlucky really today not to get the second goal with that with that thunderbolt as an example. The amount of times, and this is why these types of players are so important to teams, and I feel like we've lost sight of it as football fans. Isak did it for you so many times where he'd get the ball and he'd score an absolute welding. We'll go, wow, what a goal. But you look at the XG and it was 0.003 or something. But the better the player, the more of those low XG goals they score. We just didn't call them that when we were younger. And it's only now that we've got a number associated to them, we realize that's a hard chance, right? But actually, sometimes those low XG chances, people go, well, they were low XG. It's not really a proper chance. And I sit there and think, yeah, but that's why you buy the better players. The amount of times Wayne Rooney used to score goals when there was no XG, the amount of his goals that were probably 0.1 XG, that's why we won so many games, because you buy the better players. And I think Arsenal, I don't think there's anything wrong with Arsenal today, to be honest with you. I thought they did very, very well.
They
played very well.
That statement would make more sense if we were 24 games in and Arsenal attackers weren't doing anything. And Zubamendi was popping up. Zubamendi was doing like a Jorginho season where he was our top scorer with like 7 or 8 goals or something. We were winning 1-0 all those games. That statement would make more sense instead of like 4 games in where he's just popped up and scored twice.
Yeah, maybe the way I'm trying to explain it.
He's a top goal scorer. Also, their number 9 is a joint top goal scorer in the league as well, right? There we go.
Hey, do you know who else is Semenyo?
True. Garnacho gave the assist. Yes, we didn't actually get the assist because it was touched by a defender before the shot. But he was also marking Fabio, who scored the equaliser. He does listen. I like Garnacho, and I do hope that him and the players at Leeds United do well to a certain extent because he's from my academy. But he does have a habit of sleeping it like that, so you got to keep an eye on him. Speaking of defenders, Dave, is Gabriel still a bozo?
Yes, because just wait. That's what I'm gonna say.
How long have you been saying that for?
You're gonna be waiting, boy.
No. So Terry will remember this well. Somebody, I think it might have been the same person. They super chatted in last year saying, "Is Gabriel a bozo?" And I just said, "Just wait, it will happen." And then the next game, he literally made 2 mistakes that led to goals. And I was just there like,
I think it might have been the game where he picked the ball up with his hand to
something like that.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah. Nav here says 3 issues. 1, having the defense so high. 2, slow play from the back. 3, not applying the same pressure to Brentford. Throw-ins inside the box. That's literally how we lost the game. A lack of aggression. Yeah, I do think you could have moved the ball a lot faster and been more aggressive. Chalobah starting for Liverpool is crazy. This is the same guy who said Andre Santos is equal or better than Saka. Chelsea
has lost it.
Did you say that?
He's lost it. Andre Santos, a centre mid, and I said he's equal to Saka. You see people on the internet. Comprehension, guys.
I mean, no disrespect, Robert, you're one of our members, and I love you, and you're a regular super chat. I respect you, but have you maybe also misidentified someone on the panel? Is that possible?
It's misidentified players, let alone people on the panel.
Yeah.
I mean,
I assume Andre Santos is Brazilian with the name.
yeah.
Maybe
he's a centre mid.
Maybe he
means Esteval.
He means
Esteval.
So that's who he's not identified.
Well, it happens. They do the same.
People can't tell David and Kwess apart now. They can't tell Andre Santos. You people need to go on diversity courses real quickly. It's shameful.
Who are you people? We need to keep going around. Nana, offside or not, we were shit. Don't use that.
Thank you.
I understand you guys do that, but you guys know I have a genuine agenda against refereeing and making sure it's good. I ain't doing the offside crap. We are shit. Nav is just not having it. Nav ain't having it.
No, we can't do this.
Chill,
But I keep it 100, right? I even said this. The same thing with Spurs earlier on today. The refereeing was awful in that as well. And you need to call this stuff out. Otherwise, the game won't get better.
We can't call it out, Ash, because we tried against Fulham and the whole nation converged.
I tell you what, though, right? Well, that's part of it as well. But if this happens next week and you lose to Man United, because the way you feel and hate Man United because of what we did to you for them years, it will be a different reaction if it happens against Man United. It will. I know it will. Mo, the difference is Chelsea have backed it up. A good point. Look, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. I want to thank the panel for coming on. That's a late one tonight on a Saturday. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, my panel, to the super chatters. We're back tomorrow morning with the first proper fan channel review of the season. And of course, we'll be reacting to Liverpool and Manchester United versus City in the afternoon as well. This is going to redirect to Footy Judge Mo and Hussam's channel. So go and support my brothers over there. But Andrew, Kojo, Winter Surfer, David, Kwess, Elijah, Ash, and of course Mo that was on earlier. Thank you all for coming on indeed. Take care. Goodbye. God bless you. And we'll see you all again soon.